Gerone Wright here, and once again you're joining me on my Gerone Wright YouTube channel here on YouTube. Again, we're here in a second video, I believe, maybe third, because I have a few slides out with regards to Peru's doorway to the heavens, gateway to the other worlds, or whatever you want to call it. Some actually call it the doorway to evil, whatever, and doorway to the devil's doorway. This is the front of the location. I'm going to take you to a couple of slides that are referencing the back of this location. I found some dimensional images that are decoded, or should I say encoded, in the rocks here, and it produces other images. I'm going to take you to some of them. Let me slide this. Let me get this arrow up here so I can take us there. Here's the back of that location. And as you can see, people are walking about here. There's people there walking, as you can see, right through there. Okay, and I'm going to back off some so you can see this right away. Okay, I can back off some more. All right, here it's on. This image is online, and they also call it dinosaur rock, because there is a tail which can be seen right here of that similar of a dinosaur. They call it dinosaur rock. They say there's a tail, and some people says that there's a head. I've identified this rock, or this location, as being that of a creature which is from the crocodile family. All right, which I guess would be Canaan or Cayman. Okay, family, a specific type of crocodile species. Now, before I get started into talking about which species of croc this is, because I'm going to bring up a slide of a model of the croc that I'm actually talking. These creatures, you probably say, well, there's a croc in Peru. Well, you don't have to Google no further than what you have discovered. Once I discovered that this is a crocodile, there's the head here, an eye in here, here's the mouth right here, and it has an elongated snout. And what threw me off is because I actually thought it was some type of dinosaur as well too, because the croc teeth, as we know them, there's a tooth there, there's a couple tooth in there, but these teeth are not identified with the crocodiles or alligators' teeth as we know, which hang out on the jaw lines, the bottom jaw line. These teeth here seem to be rounded and global-like. And lo and behold, I've discovered, once I started looking into the history, the ancient history of Peru and ancient crocodiles, come to find out that there are 7 species of ancient crocodiles which were indigenous to these lands. And this creature with these global like rounded teeth, they call them global like teeth, and a rounded snout. Okay, it's an elongated but rounded snout as well too. There is a specific crocodile, and there's a model of that creature that we can see. However, I have some highlights here, but there's the crocodile's head right here. There's a crocodile's foot right there, and the whole crocodile's body wraps around and comes around to the head, and the eye being right here. All right. Again, this is the bottom jaw line here. Here's his leg. Here's his elbow right there, bent around. His elbow is here, comes around. His leg is right here. Hand or his claw is right there. Here's his jaw line right here, the rounded part of the jaw line, which comes over to the top part of its actual snout. Again, the eye is in here, and this is the head. And all the specifics of that crocodile are there. Now, this is not the first time that I'm able to do something like this, because wherever you have these megalithic carvings, of such creatures. The creature is actually indigenous of that land. It is a creature that once, a long time ago, in its ancient time, it actually thrived in this location. And what is happening by these commemorative megalithic carvings, it is showing us how mankind, which evolved through reptiles and other various creatures of our lands before evolving onto land from the oceanic waters of our land, shows how mankind evolved out of the waters onto land through these reptiles and these creatures. And this is how these carvings became to be. It wasn't that they looked at these creatures as gods. They recognized humans as evolving through these creatures, through the DNA of these creatures, which calls for the creatures or beings which are walking down here now and honoring this area. Over here, I don't know if you can see right here, I got it highlighted in my next slide coming up, is a king and a queen figure standing up in the rounded part of where the crocodile's back is here, right at its shoulder. Well, the shoulder is down here, but right there in his back area, where the higher part of his back would be, there's a queen and a king standing there, crown and queen standing there. I see these images through my paranormal experience and encounter, just as I discovered this image. There's other things here as well too, but I'm going to go on to show you my highlights. And there I have it highlighted for you. I have the queen in pink, in a pink robe, her crown right there in yellow, and there's her face, her reptilian face right there. The king, I have him in a burgundy garment. Well, I have his robe highlighted in burgundy. His arm is wrapping around and embracing the queen. There's I have his helmet, his crown in orange, and there's his face, his Nubian face there. Okay, I will try to bring this in closer, but notice that I have the croc's teeth highlighted in white there. I'm going to come in closer, and I have the slide video on YouTube so you can actually see it. All right, where I have this croc's eye at right here is almost identical to what you can see or imagine with it being away from, if I didn't have it highlighted or edited at all with my highlights on here, you would notice or take to see that there is actually a space for the eye to be right there, and you can almost see the slit in the crocodile's eye. But all of the symmetry in these rocks actually makes up the scaly body of that crocodile creature. And as I was telling you before, that his teeth are rounded and almost like global-like. You see them in there? That creature is in, and there's the tail. I got it all highlighted. And you see that I've made very few lines. You can count the lines that I made. If I had to count it, I don't think that I marked this with 100, maybe 110 lines to actually accent that this is a crocodile here. Again, here's the bottom jaw area here. There's the split of the mouth with the teeth coming out. The top of the snout area, there's the eye. Okay, and then there's other carvings that are in here that I can see, but I left them out not to confuse us with what's going on. Here's the finger, not the finger, the claw accented here. Okay, the elbow, all of that is identifying this croc, this caiman creature. And again, people, these creatures once thrived in the Perubian land. Okay, and there were 7 species from the crocodile family which thrived in that area. And here you have this mega croc and this stone structure which had to be carved by reptilian beings, which is commemorating this creature for causing for genetic change and the genetic becoming of mankind. And this is why you have a king and queen figure over here standing, showing you that, hey, listen, from the body of this beast came us. And this is what this is describing, genetically came us. All right, I'm going to keep going here. While we're not moving. Okay. There is, oh gosh, I went right past the guy. There is the model of that croc, that ancient croc. right here. Do you see this now? This is a model of what these ancient creatures look like. And this is identical to the teeth that I've discovered, which threw me off because, again, I was expecting for a croc to have these sharp teeth from our time. They got these sharp pointy teeth that overhang their mouth. And I mean, they're like razor-like, looking like great white teeth in their mouth. When I started researching and going back in time about the Perubian area and the 7 different species of croc, and ran across this model of what these crocs actually look like based on the remains, the fossilized remains that they found of these creatures, then I saw that this is the same creature which is depicted in that Peruvian carvings, that megalithic structure, which is the gateway on the other side is the gateway to heaven, to hell, or to wherever you want to actually say it's a gateway to the heavens or whatever. On the other side is in that body is on their doorway is attaching this body of this similar creature. The eye is identical. Everything here about this creature, the rounded teeth, the snout, the elongated snout, all of this is similar to that creature of that croc that I just showed you in those carvings. And this is a model based on fossilized remains that they found of 7 different crocodile species which once thrived. They're talking about they once thrived in the area of Peru. And this is why I'm telling you that these creatures in ancient times, to be commemorated and idolized like this, it is only for one specific reason. It's because their DNA contributed to the genetic becoming of mankind in that area. Genetic altering. We were once reptiles. We evolved through those creatures. And see my other videos. I have other videos. Okay, here's the front of that again. Now, this is the back of the other side of where that croc was. Now, if you look at this here, there's an eye, there's a head. This is a head of what appears to be the head of, to us it would look like a horse, but this is a head of similarly like almost like a dragon. You can see the tooth there, there's a tooth there, there's a snout, there's nostrils, there's the eye. Here's the ruffly stuff that goes on this creature's neck, like you see on lizards. All of this is here, but it gets better because when you flip this upwards, this whole thing becomes the head of a man, and this dinosaur's head becomes the helmet of the man figure that is here, buried, his face buried down into the stone here. It shows you that this creature calls for the existence of this man, and the body of this whole thing becomes that there's the shoulder of the man, and it becomes almost like a uniform where this doorway showing you that all of this is derived from everything that I've just previously spoken, which were dinosaurs, reptiles, dragons, and involved into mankind. And it's showing you that it all occurred right here in this location. All right, I have it highlighted. I'm going to go into my highlighted version. Again, I have a slide video which show you better pictures of it. Again, here's the man's head here in the upright position. The man's head is here, there's a chin, there's a mouth, there's a nose, the eye is here, the dragon's head is on top of it, becomes a helmet. All of this becomes the armored wear, showing you that the man is wearing, cloaked in the dragon's skin or the dinosaur's skin. Showing you that this man, the cause for his existence is because of this creature, and he's cloaked in that creature's body, and it's showing you that this is the cloak of that skin. I mean, in reality, this man evolved through that creature and the other creature on the other side, reptilians. All right. I should have it highlighted. I don't know why I don't have this highlight. Why we're not moving? Oh, there you go. Here's my highlight of the man right there. All right. It looks backwards actually, but there's his chin, there's his mouth. All of this dinosaur's head becomes his helmet, as I told you. His helmet is the dinosaur's head. When this is laid down, you see the dinosaur's head. I mean, the dinosaur dragon's like head right there, lizard-like, right there. All of that. And then look at his clothing, almost like a jacket. This is all reminiscent of what we used to see in the Roman soldiers and the Greek soldiers. They're wearing all of this bizarre and unusual Gothic style helmet wear and clothing, these long jackets. All of this here is reminiscent of that, showing you where these ideas all came from, the origins of them, a reality, something that this is a model. This here is reality based on what occurred before. So you gotta wonder, I mean, these Romans, these Greeks, and I mean all of these other people that have these uniforms that are identical to this. Now we know what it all stands for. Look. All right, you're probably seeing it backwards, and I'm seeing the head on. I guess next to the head of that dinosaur. There it is. There's the head highlight there. All right. There's the elongated snout. There's the snout there. There's the eye right there. Here's the ruffles for that guy. And again, the man's head. This is the helmet. The dinosaur's head, or the dragon's head, is the helmet of the man that is laying down, and this is his uniform. You know, this is also, I'm going to make another connection. Is notice that back in ancient history, you have all of these saints back in biblical times talking about how they slay dragons and they slay dinosaurs. But we're not supposed to have actually existed alongside of dragons and dinosaurs. So what are they talking about? Slaying dragons. And here I'm showing you these creatures alongside of man in carvings in reality that nobody knew even existed. But see, what they're talking about, people, is that I see a bird too. I see a prehistoric bird right here. I see a prehistoric bird right there. I'm going to have to get that later. And I see another head of something else here. But I see a prehistoric bird. I see its beak right there. And I see all of its head right in here. I'm going to have to get that later. I'll come back to that. But my thing is, people, my thing with all of this is that, you know, you're talking about these saints slaying dragons and overcoming these demons and all of this, that, the third. People, what they are talking about is overcoming ancient rooted genes, which actually derive from these creatures. And this is what they are talking about. They're not talking about physically slaying a dragon, which is impossible. But in realistic sense, what they're talking about is slaying those genes from which we evolved through of the dragon, which were deeply more rooted to our ancient ancestors of the Egyptians, the blacks, which are Africans, Asians. And this is why you see a lot of it being referenced in Caucasian times, in Europe's times, in Greece times. You see what I'm saying? Because they're talking about slaying the genes of these creatures from that of previous genetic bridgings and manipulations. All right? So think about that the next time you get that going on. Now, I thought I had something else here, and I guess that's about the size of it there. All right? So, again, people, there's a reality in how we were created, and it's all around us. And the reason why I can find it in these stones is because I am experiencing a genuine paranormal experience and encounter, which allows me to experience what my ancestors experienced and what they created. Everything that is here, everything that can be seen, I see things that you could never possibly see here. And I continue to see, I can see things in this doorway as well. I see things that you could, dimensionally are just about impossible for you to see. But the good thing about all of this is that I have the ability to draw it out for you. And all I have to do is put a few lines to show you where it's at and what it is stating. These are multidimensional windows which describe to us how we genetically came into being. And our ancestors left this for us because they want us to understand where we came from, who we are, and they wanted us to further what they were doing. But you have a handful of select few that are selfishly taking this information and using it against the masses of the people. And through the guises of royalty and religion, we are being almost ushered into extinction, where they are actually preserving their bloodlines through celibacy and through kept royal bloodlines. I tell you people that there is a huge genetic manipulation experiment going on with these people. I'm talking about ancient rooted royalty and ancient rooted religion. And this is what everything is about. This is what our wars are about. This is what our divide and separation is all about. This is why we have separation in civilizations of people. All of it, people, is based on what is happening. We are all being experimented upon for a select selfish few, or by the design of a select selfish few. All right. I want to go on that note. I'm going to let this video go. I'm going to see if I can take you back to that croc again before I actually get out of here and show you again. Again, I have a slide video. If you want to see it, you know what I mean? Go to the slide video because these images are more clear. You can actually see them. I also have them on my Facebook page on Facebook that you can check out. Come on. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take you back to that croc again. I think I went too many times. But again, oh, here's the unedited version here. You can almost see, okay, in this image, the slit of the croc's eye behind this brush right here. You can almost imagine that croc's eye right there and the slit right there as I'm showing you the head of this creature. You can see it all. And I made a similar, another similar find was the same type of creature, and it's at Mount Rushmore at the presidential heads. If you haven't seen that video, you have to see that video. Okay, but again, here I don't know if you can see this here, but oh yeah, you can see it. Also, on the tip of this croc's snout is the head of a man right here. There's his chin, there's his teeth, there's his eyes, there's the full head of a person right there at the tip of this crocodile's mouth. And what do you think that that's telling you? You can see it there now that I'm actually pointing it out to you. See that head right there? Look, I'm going to bring you in closer. You see this head right here? There's teeth in it, there's a chin, there's a nose, there's the eye. You know what this is telling you? That this guy is a mutation off of this guy, off this croc. That's what this is saying. It's telling you through the body of this creature came man. It's showing you that the carving of a man's head right here. You don't know this because you can't identify. You have this veil over your head, over your face, and over your eyes because you believe that we were miraculously created through this spiritual sense. So you don't know to look for this and say, hey, listen, all you thinking that you're walking past the ruins of some type of this rocks, natural rock formations. And when you are walking there, walking past that of a crocodile, which have carvings of heads of our ancestors on there, showing you through each levels of mutation that we came into existence. My name is Gerone Wright. I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to go ahead and post this video. Thank you for your views.